All right, everyone. It looks like we are live. Sorry it takes a little bit of a second to get that going, but you know, that's just the way it is. Um, so I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about in today's video or stream, or I don't even know the right words. I am so tired. I've had quite a, I would guess you could say, very, very busy time in my life right now. And so, but I still wanted to get this stream for you guys. So I just kind of, I don't really honestly know what I want to talk about today, but I want to talk about a little bit about what this podcast is going to be like this week, because it's a really emotional one. And it just seems like every time I get a moment to really slow down, that I'm getting very emotional. And the thing is that I'm emotional during my meditation sessions, but the good thing is that I'm getting these emotions out during my meditation sessions, and the rest of the day is actually usually fairly good. I know some ups and downs depending on what happens, but essentially it's been pretty good, honestly, about like what I've actually been experiencing and what I've actually been going through. But yeah, so I don't really I just kind of wanted to go live just because I promised that I would do live shows on Wednesdays now. So depending on the day, I sometimes have Wednesdays off, and usually, though, I'm working until about 3 o'clock my time. So you guys may have noticed that the videos have changed times, and that's just because we don't observe daylight savings time where I live. So although it stays the same for me, it's shifted by an hour, and it does the same thing with all of the stuff that I enjoy. Things just get shifted by an hour. So yeah, I mean, other than the really emotional stuff right now, things are actually pretty good. I'm not sure if the emotions is having an effect on like how I'm feeling overall, but and there's been a bit of questioning, which I do all of the time anyways, about whether I'm in the right situation, whether things are going perfectly the way they should. And I still feel like I'm in the right position, so that's good. I just occasionally go through periods where I'm questioning things. So, like, it's really hard to put some of this into words because I really don't know how to talk about it. But yeah. As I talk about in the podcast, I talk about the effect of these emotions on my migraines, because it's something that a lot of people don't understand, that when I'm dealing with extra emotions or extra stress, that it can have an impact on my migraines. And now usually it does, but this time I don't know if it's just timing, but it seems like it's not really impacting me all that much, so that's fairly good. But yeah, so like I said in the describe in the podcast, I go over kind of why it's kind of why I think it hasn't been as much of an impact this time. So yeah, I mean, it's hard knowing what to talk about during these live shows just because I really am in the moment and all of that. So like the only thing that really comes to mind when things are settled down is my spiritual stuff. So, and like I also mentioned and talked about in the podcast, I believe I'll keep it in. I haven't actually edited this podcast because I just filmed it yesterday, actually last night after I was finished for the day. So yeah, I mean, I love having and making these videos. It's so nice to have a platform to not only get out my feelings, which may not always get into the final product, but it's been so therapeutic for me as well. And people have a really hard time understanding just how therapeutic it is. Like, it's basically a thought stream, but it's a really therapeutic one for me. So I love the fact that I get so many comments of people saying that, oh, like, this has helped me so much. I love those comments so much. it's hard too, because people are struggling with something in their lives. But on the other hand, it's really an honor and a privilege because people feel like they're comfortable sharing with someone who's been through something similar to what they have. I I have the most trouble, I think, with the questions about shunts and stents and all of that, just because I never have dealt with that in my life. I've never had to go through that. So it's really hard to have the same feeling as what the symptoms are basically of IIH and migraines. Like, I've never gone through some of these things with the surgical treatments or trying the surgical treatments that are out there for IIH. And so it's very, very hard for me to relate to that. And I can't give advice on it because I don't really have this is my personal experience. And I don't give anything without actually experiencing it myself, which I don't think people realize quite how important that is. Like, I have some background to be able to talk about some of this stuff, but most of it is just based on my own personal experience. So, like, I'd love to be able to. Sorry, just Apple News. I'd love to be able to share that process, but I can't really talk about it. Like, the worst thing that I went through was that week of the spinal tap where I had to have the blood patch right afterwards. So it's not really something that, like I said, I can talk about because I just don't have the experience. And another thing that I want to emphasize is please try to keep some things off of the channel. So, like, although I talk about meditation in the present moment, I do my best to try and keep that to what is scientifically accepted. Now, there is some really weird, quirky things that has happened with meditation and the spiritual aspect and the spiritual journey. I will admit that there's just stuff that I wouldn't have accepted myself even like not that long ago, that I have trouble talking about it because it's still, I think, a belief that I'm almost pushing a type of misinformation or pseudoscience, which is something that I'm absolutely obliged I wouldn't do. So that being said, I just want to respond to something that I had last week. Now, I initially responded to the comments in the best way that I could, but this comment was absolutely long and it was wild. Also, try to keep your comments short. Like, I may have time to read comments on YouTube right now because I don't get that many comments on YouTube. But most of us do not have the time to sit there and read something that's like a paragraph or too long, like an essay. Like, try to keep YouTube comments to like 2 or 3 sentences as best you can. I know when you're explaining your story, it's really hard to do that, but like, try your best. And then along with that, if it sounds like it's completely out there with very little research, or your research is an N of 1 being yourself or someone around you, or even just a handful of people that you know, I would keep those comments to yourself, because I don't want to be the perpetrator of misinformation. Usually I ignore those type of comments. Like, it was really on to the point of not only misinformation, but this comment was also another one of my pet peeves, which is offering unsolicited advice. It's something that drives us absolutely nuts, and if we have likely heard of it, we've likely tried it. That being said, I don't even want to like explain what this comment was suggesting because it is so strange. And I'm not saying that it could be totally completely out there, but when you put some of this stuff into writing, just understand and make it so that you're trying your best to keep it as scientific as possible, because I don't want to be the one responsible for having a platform where someone comes on, reads that comment, and then thinks that their migraines are caused by something as crazy as this comment was suggesting. So, as much as I don't like to give these comments the light of day, honestly, I feel like this one I just had to address because I felt like there was also some projection of this person too, of like they were getting upset with me because they thought I was dismissing them. But and I honestly kind of was to a certain point, because you have to, but I don't want to be I just don't want to be providing a platform to those kind of things. And so if I give you a warning, it's a warning, and the next time you have your comment on there, it may be deleted. I just want to put that out there because like I said, I have a very strong pet peeve of people getting into the wrong thing. It's like those comments that show up on like social media platforms that are like, call this, like, I cured my whatever and I tried this doctor whatever thing, and they're spam comments. So like, if you make it so that it's unique enough, the spam filter isn't going to pick it up. But honestly, just, I don't really know how to address this because, like, I want people to be able to share their stories and what's worked for them. But yeah, just keep it, like, just be mindful about what you're posting. Because, like, like I said, I have a background in a very hard, what you would consider a very hard science with biochemistry. And like I said, although my mind has been opened with my own experience with spirituality, meditation, and the energy that comes along with that, I'm still not very open to a lot of things because I still consider it a type of misinformation and pseudoscience. And I swore that I would never platform that kind of thing. So just be careful about that. And I don't want this whole live stream turning into where I'm ranting about that, but it's frustrating that, you know, I also kind of feel bad because I don't know if this person took the time to type this thing out or if they've been like copying and pasting it from different platforms, but like, don't waste your time, basically, is what I'm saying. And if you feel like you have something, email me instead. Like, don't put it on a social media platform. Just, I don't really know what else to say. Like, if you really think you have something that honestly really did help with migraines, then, like, email it to me and all of that. So, yeah, that's just the thing. I get really grumpy with that kind of thing because I deal with it all of the time. And in my opinion, people who do this are taking advantage of people who are often desperate for an answer and an easy solution. And so, like, it's not only frustrates me because I don't like the type of content those type of comments on my channel because other people might read through it and believe it, but I don't like it because it's making something that's a very complex situation seem like something so simple. That being said, I'm not trying to dismiss what you've experienced, what you've been through, what may have helped you, but you gotta understand that when you've heard so much and you've been through so much yourself, that when you get another one, oh no, it's one of these again kind of situations, it's very, very frustrating. So I just wanted to put that out there, I guess, is where I'm getting at with that. Like, just be mindful about the comments that you're putting on. Like, there's a lot of things, and people, like I said, who come to the channel are often quite desperate for something to work. It's probably why you're looking at other people who've been in the same situation. I know that's why I looked on YouTube too. I wanted to be able to relate to someone who was in the same exact situation. Now, I was dealing with IIH, so it's quite rare, and I didn't know anyone at the time who had the same condition as I did. Migraines is a little bit different, but like I said, it's a lot more rare to have the chronic version of migraines, so it could be the same reason for that. And we want to have a community where we feel comfortable, and that is another really important thing. And I don't want people feeling like they're going to be bombarded by those type of comments if they comment on the video as well. Like, that happens to me too. Like, if I share that I'm dealing with migraines or that I'm not feeling well, all of a sudden you'll get this comment from the most random account ever that's promoting complete and utter garbage, honestly, and it's a problem. So yeah, anyways, like I said, I'm gonna get off this topic because I'm completely ranting at this point, but that particular encounter was quite frustrating, and it's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last time it's happened. But yeah, just I don't know why people have to comment things like that, but maybe they have actually been through that and have noticed some weird correlation with it and think that it's actually the cause of their problem. I don't know. Which, like I said, this world is very strange, and things are definitely weird sometimes in like the relationships that the mind puts together, but honestly, there's probably other reasons why you're having success with a certain situation in a spurious, it's called a spurious correlation. So it appears like two things are related when they're actually not related at all. They share something in common that's appearing to make it look like they're related, but they're actually not related. So yeah, I don't know. I really wish I understood why, if people are targeting these videos for, because they honestly think they're helping, or if they're targeting it for, say, like, I really wish I understood why sometimes these videos are being targeted, because it really doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, just really important that I put that out there because it's frustrating. But anyways, so what else is new in my life? I don't really know, honestly. Like, other than work and videos and home, I feel like I do nothing. That's why I'm not. Another thing I guess I want to talk about is why I haven't done any vlogs, and it's because I just feel like it's boring, honestly. Like, the thing I do is I get up, I often go to work for the day, and I come home and I'm so tired that I don't really feel like doing anything. And like, doing these sit down videos I find is a little bit easier than doing vlogs, but the vlogs would be so repetitive. Like, I don't, unless I'm experiencing something different, I don't really feel like there's a need to vlog because it's like the same thing every single day. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there are people that miss the vlogs. And I guess if there's something that you're wanting me to vlog, just leave it in the comments or like in the live chat if you're watching this right now. Like, that would be another thing that you could do, is like, yeah, just leave it in the comments. Like, if there's absolutely something you want to see. But like I said, I literally get up, I go to work, I come home, and I do everything I possibly can to relax and recharge, because I need all of the rest I can in order to be able to maintain this lifestyle now. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I can't vlog anywhere because it's, number one, I just can't. It's, yeah. So I don't really know. Oh yeah, my arm is itchy too. The thoughts, man, the thoughts. Let's see. We've been going about the length that I really want to go with these. I don't really think I have anything else to share. Just keep an eye out. I'll hopefully get the podcast up for you guys on Saturday at some point. I probably will time it for Saturday at 12 o'clock my time, so that would be 2 Eastern. And so, yeah, I mean, just have your notifications turned on so you know when we're going live. If I remember, I will share the link. I actually did remember today. I'm hopefully going to get better with that. I'm not the greatest for remembering, and it's just honestly, it's so many clicks. Like, to get these live streams going with using the streaming software can be so many clicks. But anyways, it's just, yeah, you know, YouTuber problems essentially. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else I want to talk about. I don't think I really have anything else I want to talk about. Most of the stuff that I mentioned will be explained in the podcast. So if you guys are interested in watching the details on that, feel free to watch it on whenever after Saturday when it goes up to the public. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know, guys. I think that's it. I'm just going to pop over to here. So, again, if you're wanting to follow me on social media, you can do so at the links. If you're watching this on Facebook, I mean, you've already found it. But if you're wanting on YouTube, it's the same as my Facebook. And please do subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this because it does help with the algorithm. And make sure your notifications are turned on so that you can catch these live and we can have a live chat going. Because the most fun thing about having a live video is to interact with the audience. Now, I know it's going to be hard having an audience when I do this, like, at probably a very bad time. Like, it's like just 5 o'clock in the Eastern time zone. It's in the middle of the afternoon everywhere else. So it's probably going to be very difficult for people to join, but it allows people from other parts of the world to join a little bit easier. So if you guys are wanting to, make sure you have your notifications turned on wherever you're following me. And I will also try to use Twitter too for sending out the live notifications. And so if you're following me on Twitter, you'll probably get the tweet for that. And actually, Twitter is good now too. Like, so there's 2 tabs on Twitter. So there's your recommended feed and then there's your following feed. And personally, I actually keep all of my feed now on the following. And whether you're on mobile or the desktop, it'll actually remember which tab you've been on. So you can click back and forth. But if you leave it on the tab that you want to have it on, where most people actually do keep it on their following tab, it'll like let you know exactly what you want to see. So yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter for the live notifications, you can do that. I will try and remember to share it. I am sometimes bad. That's why I recommend that you have the notifications on YouTube. Like I said, I think YouTube is the best when it comes to actually notifying people that you're live. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular live stream. I'll try to get this up on Facebook. Unfortunately, due to space on locals, I can't just post it onto locals as well. I have to keep that for the podcast and the short videos. And make sure you keep your eye out for the short videos. So today's Wednesday, so we should have a responding to comments video coming out a little later. So anyways, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.